Hey everybody, this is funny. So I want to say maybe 97 out of 100 of these Knobgoblin security guard videos are all Allied Universal, all the time, almost every one of them. There was the one, I can't remember who it was, but Gorlock the Destroyer short security lady came out of the bank video. That one was a Securitas video, and years ago, I used to work for them. I was at one place, and then they moved me to another, and it was hell. This was when the Motorola Razr first came out, and they had the dragon design, laser engraved on the back, and then there's a pink version with cherries, cherry blossoms. I got one of each, one for me, one for my girlfriend, and then it wasn't even 2 months later, I got fired for theft of a corporate cell phone and laptop, which were logged in the locker. Because, okay, so when you're out on patrol in these buildings, if you come across cell phones, laptops, unattended equipment, like like the event that led up to me being fired was, I'm at the front lobby, guy leaves, it's like 4 a.m. Guy leaves. Coworker comes in, tap out. He sits down, I get up, I go do my patrol. I head out. I'm inside the building, going on my rounds, and I get to a key check, swipe my key, that way they know that I'm patrolling, and I'm in the hallway. It's literally a hallway, and you got the EDR, the snack room, the break room, this little TV room, and right next to the water fountain is a laptop bag with a company laptop in it and a cell phone. It was one of the folding ones, and it was in the little pleather case with the little snap on it, and it was attached to the bag. And I was like, that's not supposed to be there. Looked around, checked around, everything. All the computers and phones have their own company ID tag numbers on them. Pick it up, check around for anybody. Nobody's there. Continue my rounds, come down, set them on the little table behind my coworker. Coworker gets up to leave. I logged the laptop in, logged the phone in, I put the numbers in, I pull out the directory, find the cross-reference of the equipment numbers and the employee numbers. I get the employee's information, put it on the paperwork, file it. I put the paperwork on the file deal, put the stuff in the little lock box, which is basically a giant file cabinet, like 4 foot wide. Put it in, lock it up, continue on with my shift. And was like, oh hell, my shift ended at like 8 a.m. And right around 2 p.m., they called me up and said, "We need you to come here. There's something we need to discuss." I'm like, okay. So traveled all the way across town, went in. The dude that left, that was his stuff. He had forgotten it. And he came back at around noon and said, "I stole it." I was like, I didn't steal it. It was left in the middle of a fucking hallway, and you were gone. You left it there for 8 hours or more. It's ridiculous. My boss goes out to the main booth desk, checks the log books. It's there. The guy's name is there. The information is there. All the numbers are there. Opens up the drawer. Computer's there. Computer bag is there. The phone is there. And he brings it into the office. The guy checks it over. He opens it up, and the computer's still on. And he didn't have it password protected, which is a violation of corporate policy. Any computer that leaves the building has to be password protected. You can't just, have them open up and everything, because it's financial information across, everything. And it's like, see, I didn't steal it. It was there the entire time. Oh, yes, you did. Well, because this guy was some high-end prick, my manager terminated me on the spot and notated it in my record that I was being fired for theft. And it's like, that kind of mentality is the mentality that breeds idiots like these two. They don't care what the law is. They don't care what the truth is. It's their way or the highway. Now, Amagansett Press here, he's out on a street. This is sidewalks. And this bearded moron goes, "Stop filming me. This is private property." And he's like, I don't care. Shut up. And he's jittery. He's jonesing for something. This kid reminds me of Junior. He really does. He reminds me of Junior. And it's like, this guy's amped up on something, and he doesn't even know his position. I've worked security for multiple companies. You're looking after a building. If it's on a street like this, your position is inside the building, and that's it. You don't control the sidewalk, you don't control the road, you don't control the sky. Your job ends at the doorway. That's it. If you're watching over a mall property, as soon as the mall property ends, that's it. You get to the sidewalk, edge of the sidewalk, it ends. That sidewalk outside the property is public domain. You work at a financial center and it's a gated business. Anything that happens outside the gate is not your concern. Security has set standards. There are things that you can and cannot do. You cannot mix the two up. These two guys think, well, we're security and our job is to be security for all the businesses in this chain, because like all the businesses are in one building, and then you cross the street and it's one building, and they're all it's basically strip malls, just strip and a strip and a strip and a strip and their security for each business. Each building has them as security, but the street and the sidewalk are all public. They are public property. The businesses, the property owners don't own them. They just own the buildings. That's it. Their job is, shoplifters, fights inside the stores, disputes inside the stores. But people who are trained to be security, they are being trained incorrectly. As security, your job is to maintain the peace in your zone and your zone only. You need to know where your lines are. You don't have authority outside of the business. I do guard duty, and you have the big, huge block walls and spiked walls and razor wire on top all the way around the facility, and I'm in control of a 5,000-pound gate, barricades, the whole ordeal, and you've got a key and a switch to open the gates. You've got cameras, you've got all kinds of information, you've got badge readers, you've got scanners, you've got x-ray machines, you've got turnstiles where a person has to run their key, go through the turnstile, then go through a metal detector while their stuff goes through the x-ray machine. That's what my job was. The facility was strict. And if you're at the guard booth, you don't open the gate until the person can prove they work for the company. But if somebody's out at the street causing issues, it's not your concern. We had homeless people. We had people setting up picket lines and shit. It's off the property. It's not my concern. Anything outside the gate did not faze me. It was not my job to give a shit. These guys, they care too much. And security guards, mainly Allied Universal, they don't understand where their job ends. I just watched, Surreal Cam, and Allied Universal was doing security for a transit bus train center, and they're yelling at homeless guys that are waiting for the train. Oh, you're homeless, you can't ride the train, you're not allowed. Bullshit. Kick rocks or I'll throw you in front of a train, you son of a bitch. Allied Universal, the federal minimum training, I think, is 8 hours of training for a unarmed guard, and then for armed guard is 8 hours training, and then 4 hours training, 2 to 4 hours of training for firearm safety and everything. And this is what gets me, is you cannot get a guard card or an armed guard card without being sponsored by a company that hires you. You can't just file or try to get a guard card yourself just to have it. You can't. You have to work for somebody or be, on payroll or about to be on payroll for that company before you can get one. And it makes no sense, because all these companies are like, the guard card must be held before you can apply. And it's like, how am I supposed to get a guard card unless I'm signed up for somebody? And that's what pisses me off. Like, I'd join some of these security companies out here, second income type deal, if if I could, but it's like all these companies say, well, you have to have a guard card before applying. It's how? Makes no sense. But another thing is, you could have a CCW, but to get your armed guard card, you have to go through a completely separate class, and you have to show all kinds of proficiencies, and you have to own all the equipment yourself already. And that's another thing that drives me nuts. But I'm shocked. Like when I was in security, the 8-hour class, they taught you the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts. Your security for these businesses, anything outside the business. If it's a fight, yeah, try to get control. If it's somebody walking down the sidewalk, talking and being loud and video recording, it's none of your fucking business. Ignore it. Keep moving. Look the other way. These idiots called 911 and complained that AP here was recording. And this cop literally showed up yelling at him and just, they're in the public. You can't control them. There's nothing you can do. And these are like the mouth breather with the glasses over there. He's like, did you get the footage you wanted? It's like, yeah, he got the footage he wanted. He showed the world you're an idiot. You two security guards, I mean, you made a false report to police officers. You wasted taxpayer money, all because you wanted what? What? You overstepped. Like, I back good police officers. I back good security guards. If you're bad at either, I will call you out. Good officers, bad security. I mean, yes, Amagansett press can be abrasive. He can be abrasive. But if you show up and say, hey, how you doing? Hi, nice to meet you. He gives you everything that you could ask for. You ask him questions. You can poke and prod as long as it's a two-way street. But you come out barking like a freaking chihuahua in heat, and he shuts you down and embarrasses the shit out of you. He was telling everybody about this sock store, and there was all these awesome socks and different designs, and all these people coming out and flashing their socks that they were getting. And he's like, hey, everybody, check this out. And people were going in and buying stuff. And then the owner came out wanting to fight him. The chick came out wanting to fight him, and they ended up getting maced, and charges were filed. And it's like, they deserved that. He was literally putting people in there and giving them business. And they came out swinging. They deserved it because they were dicks. They were actual assholes. Yeah, there are videos where they have good times. There's videos where they have bad times. There's good auditors. There's bad auditors. There's all kinds of good cops and all kinds of bad cops. Not everybody's bad. Not everybody's good. You've got to meet in the middle. It's like, sometimes you just have to go with the punches. I was literally looking this up, and it's like, world's premier provider of physical security solutions with the most comprehensive network of office locations nationwide for local expertise, our extensive portfolio of solutions covers virtually every type of threat, where you need it and when you need it most. And all I can think is, you talk a big game, but every one of your officers has the footnotes of security training, but they're told that they're practically police officers. Like, when I was with Securitas, when I was with another company that shall be unnamed, and another one that was, for lack of better terms, crappy, even them, even with how bad they were, the training was great. I did security for an entire property. It was something like 2,500 acres, just massive property. And I didn't have issues like these guys did. I knew where to go. I knew what to do. I knew what I could do. I knew what I couldn't do. It was all trained. I was trained. I was trained properly. I didn't go out harassing people, screaming at people on the sidewalk. I knew that my job was inside. But these guys, I mean, your security for the Amtrak. It's a public property. It's taxpayer funded. But they're like, this is private property. You can't film here. No, it's public property. It's owned by the city, the state, and the federal government. You can't tell me this or that. If it was McDonald's, then you'd have something to say. But it's not. It's like the Allied, Securitas, other security companies out there, they need to understand that they need to train security officers to know your job ends right here at this wall, and if you try to go past it, oh look, your authority ended right there at the wall. It ends right there. Oh, right there. That's the wall right there. Can't go past it because there's nothing there for you. It's not hard. It's literally a 30-minute, 40-minute conversation with your security guards saying, hey, if you go outside of your job description, outside the property, your authority does not exist. You are just a citizen starting a fight, and we will fire you for it. But they don't. They just go, oh, you were yelling and screaming at somebody outside where you had no authority, and you called the cops, and you cried like a little bitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a little sticky note in your file, and then, when it comes time to getting, raises and whatnot, we're going to withhold, 10 cents from your raise. It's bullshit. It really is. But again, some of these guys can be abrasive, but if you're not abrasive to the ones that are trying to fake you out or trying to start something with you, then you don't get the truth. You don't. Sometimes you have to be abrasive to show people what these people really are. But ta-ta for now.